My favorite movie is Gangs of New York. And I think it's just a great, like a beautiful cinematic masterpiece of everything we're talking about. Where, I mean, it's very zeroed in on New York clearly, but it was this fork. This America was basically this merchant-driven fork off of monarchical England, right? We had this monarchical structure that couldn't cast its dominion across the Atlantic Ocean, basically. And Americans just gradually realized that they're independent, and eventually that culminated in a war for their independence. And so again, you see there that this oceanic wall, where it's hard to project your dominion across that space. That's again, you're back to that sovereign individual analogy to cyberspace. Like it's very hard to cast a dominion across cyberspace because the walls are just they're impenetrable, basically, right? You can put, assuming that's what Bitcoin is you're basically preserving capital behind a mathematical wall that no one can really penetrate. So there's going to be a lot of demand for that. And so I think that this Bitcoin's emergence, it really does speak to the founding principles of America. Like I think America as a state has really gone awry, but America as an idea is something really worth fighting for and preserving and defending. And we're founded on capitalism, basically, right? It's individual sovereignty, that the individual, it actually, the sovereignty of the individual actually supersedes the sovereignty of the state. And that was a big deal, right? Because throughout history, it was not that way. It was top down, right? It was from the Egyptian ruler where the pharaoh is God, everyone else is a peon, to monarchies, to aristocracies. And that was a big phase shift to put the individual on top of the state effectively. So that idea that America represents is really something worth fighting and preserving. And capitalism, like just to drill down into what that is, it's very common. People think that we have a free market capitalist society, but it's just not true, right? Because as we know, money is one half of every transaction, and our money is not a capitalist structure. Capitalism, for me, basically means the exclusive right to the fruits of your labor. So whatever you spend your time producing, cultivating, making, whatever value you create, you have rights to that, to be able to trade it with others that have done the same. So other people spend their time working and producing. Everyone gets to trade the fruits of their labor. The net outcome of that is an increase in wealth and prosperity for all. That system of wealth creation has been hijacked by central banking. Central banking is literally the fifth dictate in Marx's manifesto.
Yeah.
It is monetary socialism. Is what I call it. I guess you could call it communism, authoritarianism, whatever. I distinguish capitalism as you get to own your own time. You decide how you spend your time and what to do with it. Time is money, right? Socialism is the state gets to decide. They have a greater or lesser extent in deciding how you spend your time and money. And as we see today, our monetary structure is fully socialist. Anyone that wants to deactivate your bank account, deauthorize your bills, reverse your transactions, they have that authority to do so. And so I think Bitcoin is just, we have a true American monetary capitalism coming back into the world. And I think that idea is really, really worth fighting for.